Oh, hello there. I didn't see you come in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pop Aficionados. It's another great Pop Power Block Thursday here on Pop Samurai Network here on Pop Twitch.tv/Pop Samurai Network.
Stop saying the word pop.
Uh,
Stop it.
No. Once again, I'm your host. Jaboy Jelani Hoon is here, along with Will. Will Walkie Washkun is here, along, and once again with us is Joel, Critical Joel Paprocki. Thank you, boys, for being here with me. Thank you, everyone who stuck around after the quick commercial break to see us and come back with us and have some fun. So, we're gonna get into some cool pop culture topics here. We're gonna review some stuff, talk about things we're doing. So let's start into there. I want to hear what everybody's been watching, playing, things they've been doing over the last week. Will, let's start with you.
Yeah, cool. This week we finished Tiny Heist.
Did you?
Yes.
How did you enjoy it?
It was good. It made me want to go watch My Brother and Me now. Or look them up and start listening to them.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, Tiny Heist, Dimension 20, we plug it all the time on this show, but it was one of their side quests. So good. And so next we're probably going to do Tales from the Bloodkeep, I would think.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. But
that was very fantasy heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
In between, we'll probably do other shows. I think Agretsuko Season 3 just dropped, so we'll probably take a break and go watch that. I also started... I was in a bit of a chemically altered state, let's just say that, and I started watching Shameless.
Oh, did you?
Have either of you watched that show?
Yeah, I watched it a while ago.
I've seen some episodes. I have not watched it all.
I like the concept, but man, that is like a raunchy fucking show.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Gonna get dirty.
Dirty. So I started that.
Good actor in that though. Can't remember.
William H. Macy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really good in just about everything he does. I don't know if I'm going to continue with it. That might be something that I pick up every now and again, but there are like 10 seasons of it. So
there's
we'll
a
see.
lot of that show to go through.
And then, still playing Paper Mario. I just cleared the 4th streamer, which means I'm approximately 80% of the way through the game. That is a long game for how kiddie it is. I'm really impressed with how much content they put out there. And geez, I don't think I really did anything else.
Wow.
So there you go.
There you go. All right. Moving over to Joel. Joel, what you been doing this week?
Honestly, have not watched much this week. Unfortunately, I have some things lined up to watch, such as Short Piece and a few other good animes. But unfortunately, no new movies or anything like that. But I did one big main event, which is I finished Ghost of Tsushima.
Ah,
you did.
I did.
Oh God, full review, score and everything. No spoilers.
Right, well, I'll be brief. Let's just say, because you guys have heard my updates along the way. I really like this game. It is, after I finished it and Amy watched me play the whole thing, we were looking up Sucker Punch's games, and Infamous is probably the only one relatable enough to their other work, or to this, I should say, to Ghost of Tsushima. But while that one, you are, I don't know how to say this. You're choosing between good and bad.
Yeah,
they tried. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Infamous. I'm sorry. Infamous is a series where they had clear choices for you to go down the dark path or the light path, because you played kind of like a superhero-esque type character who gained powers, and so but the choices were very much laid out in front of you. It wasn't you just playing the game. It was like, make this choice. So that was what it was. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so I afterwards we were curious if you can sway the game just by making choices, and I think the answer is actually no, Jelani. So surprisingly enough, I think with the title of the game is Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't think you can choose against being the ghost. So I played using everything that was given to you, of course. I'm not 100% sure on that, and if you want to give that a try, let me know when you get through it.
I'm very much gonna as soon as I can really focus down on it, I'm very much gonna just try to play pure samurai and see what happens.
But I'll say this: I haven't had a good emotional connection to a video game like this in a long time. With regard to liking the characters, the development of each of the characters that you end up going through much of this with, and that means like the AI that you fight with and their stories of trying to solve different things for them. So by the end of it, you have to make a very bold choice at the end, and that is one decision that you do get to make, and it is very clear cut, like you said, you get to choose left or right kind of thing. And but that like ending thing almost like kind of brought me to tears just because it was like, whoa, I can't believe it. And then looking up to see what was true and what's not with regard to history, because I haven't done that throughout this entire time I played it. You find out that the Sakai clan did exist, but none of the events or even the Khan that you fight is a real person in real life. So they developed the story, and that just made me say even more so, wow, because I took a history B station class a few years back and learned a lot about Japan particularly, and it's a century. And I'll just say that. Oh, did I freeze or are you guys still hear me? Sorry.
You kind of cut out for a second. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So
Yeah, we're losing Joel. We might be losing Jelani. We might be losing me. If I'm being honest.
Oh.
Let me check. You guys still with me?
Hello?
Yep, I'm here. I can hear you guys, but I don't think you can hear me.
Nope, I see you now.
Okay, that was like a big hiccup. I'm sorry. That was like a weird that was a weird big hiccup there. But
the risks of doing shows live on the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I apologize. I mean, but either way, running in Wi-Fi in a solid wire here. So I'll just wrap it up and say that I really enjoyed this. And if you're a fan of like historical type situations that you're not really doing anything astronomical with regard to like superpowers and stuff, but you want to take more of the like sneaky approaches and things to open world type gaming. This is absolutely stunning. The game is one of the most beautiful I've ever seen, and to be the last exclusive for PS4, it kind of like almost brought me to tears in that regard too, because it was like, wow, man, how much time I've had, having fun on PS4, and this is one hell of a way to round out saying goodbye to it. So I know we get other games, but I meant exclusive. So my score, I would say this is easily a 9 for me.
9?
A 9 out of 10, yeah. It has flaws with regard to how it plays occasionally, but that stuff is minuscule. And I honestly, I'll just like, this is gonna hurt you guys more than it's gonna hurt me. This is what I was looking for out of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I got it. I got it out of this as opposed to that. So
Okay.
Yeah, and so no hate to that game. It's still wonderful, but it's just like, whoa, I was blown away by this one. So yeah, solid 9. I think it's a great game. That's what I've got for you guys. So
Very cool.
Yep. Sweet.
It's on me. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. So things I've been doing this week. Over the weekend we did our tabletop appreciation D&D stream there, so we had a lot of fun there. Really great stuff. Thank you to everybody who came by. Thank you to everybody who helped donate for the charity there for Extra Life. If you're looking to help donate, the link is still down below our video here. We're going to be doing that for the rest of the year. So join on in if you can for our us helping to raise money for the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who played. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Amanda. Thank you so much for being here with us as our players. I hope everyone had a great time, and one day, hopefully, I can't wait to get back to these characters and see what happens. Oh, yeah. All right, things that I've watched. I've been watching a lot of Dropout stuff still. I've been binging through Actually a lot.
Really, it's so good.
Really been enjoying that show. The show where it's like a game show where they talk about like fun like. They ask questions, but the questions are like they're just presenting wrong statements about like pop culture fandoms, and so like the contestants have to point out what's wrong about the statement. So very cool. If you're looking for something cool, another cool like game show type thing, check it out. Dropout has a lot of those, a lot of cool game show idea stuff in there.
I mean, we did a round of our Gen Con convention trivia that was actually style. So that should show you just how much we like this game show.
Yeah, it's a very cool one, and I hope they keep bringing back more with it. So cool stuff. On top of that, things that I've watched that are new-ish. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch this movie or not, but I watched a movie on Netflix called Eurovision Song Contest, the song of the whatever, a Fire Saga. So this is a Will Ferrell movie. It's a movie about this group called Fire Saga that Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams are part of, and they want to win the Eurovision Song Contest, which is like a big song contest that happens in Europe. It is. I avoided this movie very much way at the beginning because it's been out for a little while now. I avoided it because I was like, oh, it's another Will Ferrell joint. I'm sure, it'll be whatever. When I got around to actually watching it, it was actually kind of like, it wasn't one of those just like laugh out loud comedies. It wasn't just like slap your, bust a gut laughing. It was a chuckle. It was funny. It was more charming. It's more of a kind of heartwarming, like, movie. It has great music in it. They do some really great renditions of certain songs. So if you're looking for a kind of fun, heartwarming, kind of charming movie, check out Eurovision. It's a really great movie. It's pretty cool. I like the characters. Usually Will Ferrell can sometimes get a little played out for me because he plays he plays Will Ferrell. But in this, they very much do a really great job of kind of just like making them kind of just like more of a charming tale than anything else. So really great songs in it. I've been listening to the soundtrack for it for a little bit too, so it's really good. So check it out, guys. Let's see, anything else? I don't think that there's anything really big. I've kind of just been watching kind of the same old things that I've been normally watching besides that, and playing Stardew Valley still, so broke 100 hours of that.
Nice.
So fun times. Other than that, that's about it, guys. So yeah. All right.
Cool.
So that's all we've been playing there. Let's get into our cool little segments here on Pop Aficionados, where we either review stuff or do cool things. I want to hear about a cool board game we can talk about here for the folks out there. So, Will, if you can, give us a board game review. He's got dice and cards and dice and cards. It's Will's board game review.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much for that. Today I am going to be reviewing an absolute classic among classics. That is the board game Bing! Agricola! Agricola is a very, like I said, if you've hung around anybody who likes the Euro style board games, you've played this game. It's been around since 2007, designed by Uwe Rosenberg, who is one of my favorite designers, also designed Patchwork, which is my favorite two-player game. I've mentioned that many times on the show. Published by, it's been published by everybody, I feel like, by Lookout Games at one point, by Mayfair. I think currently it's held by... I'm probably going to get this wrong. Fantasy Flight, maybe? Don't quote me on that. I don't know who currently owns it, but like I said, it's one of those evergreen titles. If you're looking for it, you can find it secondhand, you can find it new, from several different publishers. Plays 1 to 5 players, takes anywhere between an hour to 2 hours, really. Age 12 plus. It's a little bit heavier of a game. Basically, in Agricola, you play a farmer, and your job is to try to have the most bustling farm in the countryside. And the way you're going to do that is by placing workers and by improving your assets, growing specific types of different crops, raising different livestock, and you get certain sort of points based on how you lay out your farm. So I actually have a little image here, if the button will work. Yes, there it is. Ta-da! So what you see right here is you see a player board. There's fencing for livestock. You see some sheep. You see some cows. You see some pigs. You also have your farmhouse, which isn't depicted there, but you can grow your farmhouse to get more workers as you go. More workers get placed on a board, and the board is shared by everyone. So if you want to do something to improve your farm that turn, there's a chance that someone else is going to want to do that too, and you might not be able to because they're doing it. It's very much sort of embracing this idea of like a small community, limited resources to go around, and you have to make it work. So it's worker placement, it's resource management, it's shared objectives. And this game, like I said, came out in 2007. This was kind of one of those turning points, I feel like, in the Euro style, where you really started to see the not directly in competition, like not attacking each other, but still very strategic and competitive type of games coming out. I mean, those have been coming out forever, but this one I feel like was a big revelation to the genre. Agricola, like I said, it can take you a while. It can be a little heavy for new players to get into. But once you've played it once, you'll pick it up. You'll know how to go. It's one of those ones where it feels like there's a million rules, but really everything's laid out on that shared community board for what you're going to do by taking each action. A little gameplay tip. Starting player is massively underrated in this game. Don't be afraid to pick starting player because you will get some extra assets and you will get to pick any action on your next turn. But that's kind of how it goes as you go around taking turns, doing actions, boxing other players out, and trying to maximize your point generation, your engine building at the same time. And so, like, it combines a lot of different genres. It does so seamlessly. It's an absolutely, like I said, like a cornerstone game. The art is exactly what you would expect from the Euro style. So very simple and understated, but gets the point across. Altogether, I mean, I think this is one of my favorite games of all time. I can't recommend it enough. I would put Agricola at an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
If you're a board gamer, you gotta play Agricola. You just gotta. So give it a shot. Write us. Let me know what you thought of it. Normally I see if I can figure out where you can buy them. Amazon has it right now for about $55. So it's an expensive game, but the replay value is fantastic. It's a big game, lots of quality components. So go check it out. Agricola.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hit it.
All right. Thank you for that Dyson Cards. That was Will's board game review. All right. Bing. Ding. All right. Thank you so much for that really great breakdown of Agricola for us. Sounds like a really cool game to play. Let's head over to some. Actually, you know what? I want to go to trailers, guys. I want to talk trailers.
Okay.
Week. All right. We're moving around. I want to mix it up here today. All right. Joel.
Yes, sir.
Give it to me.
All right.
Give it to me. You know what I'm waiting for here today.
Yeah. So I think we should probably just hit the ground running. Let's talk about the Batman teaser, right?
Yes!
Do it.
All right.
You're so much more excited about this than I am.
Ladies and
Which-
gentlemen,
which-
I absolutely love this trailer. So
Yeah. Well, why don't you do the breakdown of this one a little bit?
okay,
for us?
Matt Reeves directed the Batman. It's a brand new start with the Batman. He had always spoken about it that he wanted to bring a more grounded and gritty approach to Batman, kind of like where we got in the comics or Arkham Asylum. He had mentioned a couple other really great like comics that aren't like those comics that are like the main ones that everyone knows that just name drops comics. He actually went into some that had like some great like lore comic books that he brought up too. So I had trusted him. Matt Reeves, he directed some of the later Planet of the Apes movies for like the new ones with Andy Serkis. And so in this, we have Robert Pattinson, who's playing Bruce Wayne. Year 2 Bruce Wayne is what we're getting around. Very young still. We're getting into a world where we're introducing all the new players in the game. So we saw Robert Pattinson being Bruce Wayne in the cool new suit after like seeing it, and everybody was kind of dissing it for a bit. In this trailer, it was a really great showing for this type of Batman that is a little bit more grounded, a little bit more gritty, and just more focusing on the detective side of him is what Matt Reeves wants to focus on instead of it just being more of like the showy side. So that seems like what he's going for here. He's in the trailer, looks really cool. We see what looks like to be a version of the Riddler played by Paul Dano, who is another great actor. Kind of like a Zodiac-esque kind of killer in this. What he's leaving like these cool cryptic like riddles. We see a version of the Penguin in this for a shot, who's being played by Colin Farrell, who's total unrecognizable in prosthetics in this. So really cool. We see Selena Kyle being played by Zoe Kravitz in this, which is really cool. So it's a really great all-star cast. The movie is about 25% shot because they had the halt production because of quarantine times, but they're getting back to it, and hopefully we'll get it by next year. October, I think, around that time is what they're shooting for. But it looks great. I like the way what they're going for. I like the vibe, and it does get my hopes up for this version of it because they're looking to shoot for a trilogy here with this just encapsulated, not connected to the DC universe. It's its own standalone thing. It's just focusing on the Batman universe. So I don't know what everyone else thought, but I thought it was really great. So
Yep. For me, I and maybe we'll have to ask Will after this too. I'll just say that it looks appealing. It's so odd that we're jumping around doing Batman stuff, but honestly, if there's a way to approach it at this point, it's probably in this manner, like you said, which is like just give us a standalone, or we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll turn into more, but at the same time, it's like just strip away everything that you kind of know, redo it all, and I like that. It's like okay, cool. And you mentioned the grounded. It's like yeah, there's no military vehicles. There's just a freaking Mad Max looking Batmobile.
Yeah, there's very much everything looks like he made it himself, right? Like which makes more fucking sense than anything else, And so it's looks more utilitarian. Looks like everything's utility. Like his suit's he's more agile. He's faster. The way he wrecked that guy's shop in the one scene. There isn't a lot of like quick cuts or anything like that. It's just like he just wrecks the guy's shop and ground pounds him. The car looks really great, and yeah, I think it just looks pretty cool. Will, did you have any feelings about it?
I'm gonna reserve judgment for now. I didn't watch the whole trailer. I only saw it in passing, so I'm gonna hold off for now.
Okay, all right, yeah, it's a very cool thing. A lot of DC stuff came out this weekend. And I think it's a really cool thing that like the only way you could do another version of this is that you have to build it from the ground back up and make it still feel fresh, but still feel like Batman. So I think they're from what we're seeing in the trailer, it does feel like that, but who knows? We'll see as it goes.
Yeah.
All right, let's speed through this. Let's keep going.
Yep. No, I know. Well, that one we wanted to spend a little more time on, so that's fine.
Yes.
I guess that leads us to the next one, which is Black Adam. The teaser for that.
Real quick teaser for that. Yeah, I don't know what else to feel about it. It was just a bunch of artwork. But who knows? I might feel about it. I enjoy the Shazam movie. So if I enjoyed the Shazam movie and they really bring it with this one, sure, I'll be on board for it.
Yeah, I don't want to be a naysayer either, but it just it felt more DC, the current DC, than Batman. Put it that way. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, let's do what Will did and say reserve judgment for a bit. All right, moving along though, we do have a couple more. I don't know if you got to see the Come Play trailer. That's a horror movie that's coming out.
No, I did not. I forgot to check that one out. I'm sorry.
Sure, no, that's fine. So Come Play is a story about a young boy that is autistic, and he keeps bringing up that he starts to see things, and his parents are just like, look, you're just having dreams. It's, you know, there's nothing that's actually there. But it turns out that there actually is something there, and it's very terrifying because you're like, you know, not only dealing with potentially an entity in the house, whatever that means, but it's also dealing with the difficulties of a person who is going, you know, having, dealing with an autistic child that can't really express themselves, so, you know, compounding the difficulty of it all. But you know, it's interesting that it's like a kind of one of those where it can show itself in different ways, a creature, whatever it is. So you see it a lot, like they look on their cell phone and they can see it, but it's actually there. So like there's a few scenes that actually look kind of cool where the kid's playing with one of those sticky hands, you know, that stretches and like hits stuff and you can stick it to it, and he like just throws it out into like open space and it sticks to something there, so he knows it's like right there. It's really weird. So actually looks pretty cool. It seems like a lot of people are actually excited for this one. You know, monster horror, it depends on how you do it, so we'll see how this goes. Going forward, we have Ammonite, which has Kate Winslet in it. This is a love story, but it is about a paleontologist from the early 1900s, I think, or maybe, no, it's even earlier than that. But it's interesting to see Kate Winslet back. I don't think we've seen her in a little while. So this one looks like it's like award worthy. This is probably, yeah, exactly. It's I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll turn out to be shit, but let's just say that it's like, you know, you can tell they're putting effort in, and I can tell from her. Yeah, she's a good actress, right? So for her to take on a role like this, it's like, okay, cool. Let's see what comes of it. So if you're looking for maybe a love story that has some historical value, then this might be for you. The last one I just want to briefly talk about is, and unless you have others, but I'll just mention this one really quick. It's called Intersect, and I just learned about this one today. It is a Lovecraftian story. It's coming out this year. It has to deal with, it actually is in the Lovecraft universe. It takes place at Miskatonic University, and it's about a young student that is like developing a machine with a person who they kind of open a time thing that they can control time with, but it ends up kind of like opening a portal and letting things in. So we get to see monsters, and not only that, but I cannot pinpoint if this has any grounding in any of the stories other than the Miskatonic University thing. So it's really weird to deal with Lovecraft stuff where you're like, I don't know what the source material is, but there's two stories that I can point to that maybe it's related to, and one of them is The Shadow Out of Time, where it has to deal with transferring your mind to live on and on and on, and it has to do with kind of time travel and different beings that you bump into as you go through time, kind of thing. So I don't know. Let's see if this is. I think this is mostly that. The other one, I don't know. It's not worth bringing up really right now, but so yeah, that one seems kind of cool. That's up my alley. I'll probably see it regardless. It's already been viewed and people are giving it mixed reviews, so that probably means it's good.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't. There was a bunch of other trailers that came out from DC stuff, but I mean, it was stuff we've seen before, like Wonder Woman and Justice League and things like that. So nothing of big note. But yeah, keep a lookout there, guys. All right. Joel, thanks for that talk on some trailers there. Let's move over to let's see here. Let's get to some international review here. I want to talk about a quick little film here. All right.
Let's
all right, ladies and gentlemen,
do it. Jelani's International Review. I don't know if that's the theme song, but that's what we're going with today.
We can make it that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be talking about the 2012 film Lockout. It is a French film. Sorry, there's a fly. Sorry. The 2012 film Lockout. It stars Guy Pearce and Maggie Grace, and it's a film that is a. Tell me if you heard this one before. But so this is in the future. There is a prison in outer space, and the president's daughter is taken in the prison. And so they have to send
I've heard all of those in different places.
I think
So they
of
had
one
to
right
send
away.
they had to send someone into the
Is it
prison.
Snake Plissken?
They had to send someone into the prison to rescue the president's daughter from this prison, right? Does that sound familiar to you guys?
God, yeah.
Just
Well,
a little bit.
it should. So this movie was originally penned by Luc Besson, and it was supposedly an original story, and it very much shows Guy Pearce going into this prison to save the president's daughter. It's a cool film. I enjoy it. It's a French based film. So you can find it on Netflix if you guys get a chance and you want to watch it. It's PG-13. It's very easy watch, sci-fi action stuff. It's not going to be like a heavy film, but the biggest thing about this film that I will say about it is that if you wanted more Escape from New York or Escape from LA, that film by John Carpenter, you're very much going to get it from this film because it feels exactly like that film, except he's going to a prison in space. So you could just call it Escape from Space or something like that. So much so that after this film was released, John Carpenter did sue the film for copyright infringement on the Escape from New York story. About it was very similar to it, and he actually won the suit.
I'll chime in really quick, and if you go to the Wikipedia, there is a section which usually they don't have for movies, which is based on, and now it has to probably say based on Escape from New York, Escape from LA, and it's got like Deborah Hill and Kurt Russell.
yeah. So like before, it was very much penned by Luc Besson, but now, like as an like a little, since John Carpenter won the suit,
he still wrote it.
Says,
he still wrote the story.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and so it's very much just a thing that was like there's some controversy behind it because it was very similar, but then like the company was much like fighting back against it. That is like but it's a story that's not just going to be confined to just one. It's a very generic story about just someone going into a prison to save the president's daughter. It's not,
but we changed one note in the song.
Exactly. So it's a very controversial thing. I'd say check it out for yourself. See if you feel it's too similar, or if it's not. I'd love to hear everybody's opinions on it. But otherwise, it's just a fun action film. If you like Escape from New York and you want some more of that, this is very much a futuristic version of that. So check it out. I'd give it a solid 7.5. Out of 10. It's not too bad. I think Guy Pearce is a good actor when he wants to turn it on. So by all means, check it out. So that was Jelani's International Review.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right, let's head over to Will's consumer advice. I want to hear some consumer advice from Will if we can.
Okay, pretty short list today. If you'll excuse me. Today, what I'm seeing is the Epic Game Store. They have Hitman from 2016. Remake, very nice game. I mean, you know what you're getting with Hitman. Not even really worth it for me to dig into. They also have the Shadowrun collection for free over at Epic Game Store. Some good sort of like action, sci-fi dystopia, RPG elements sort of a thing. So go check that out. And those are kind of like the big things that we're talking about today. There's a game called Destiny and Fate that is free on Steam today. I don't know much about this game other than it is free on Steam. It looks kind of narrative driven. There's some sort of like anime looking set pieces for the actual storytelling. A lot of like intriguing looking dialogue going on. So I'd say if you know better than me, throw a comment in the chat or just go check it out. Again, free 99, always good. But like I said, short list today. So that's all I got.
Okay. Good stuff. It's the end of the month, guys. But wait, beginning of the month's coming up, and I can tell you there's gonna be a lot of free stuff at the beginning of the month for Will to talk about. So stay tuned for next week for that. All right, let's go on to Joel and Tell.
Joel and Tell.
I'm running to grab Pocket Bomberman.
Oh,
I don't know
Bomberman!
about you guys, but I love Bomberman stuff. But this one for me, this brings back some memories. This game was originally from 1997, released in 1998 on Game Boy Color. It originally released on the regular Game Boy, and then they did a revamping with color. But this one actually is a little bit different than the normal Bomberman story, which typically was top down, and you would kind of just go around mazes, and you would drop bombs, and basically it's kind of an elimination game where you'd have to clear boards and then move along. This was a single player game, but the difference was it was like kind of like a platformer, more like Pokemon, I guess you could kind of say, where it moves on like a angled like 3D, but not 3D, right? Isometric. Really? Yeah. So, and if I can show you here, you'll see that it's. You really can't see it that much. The light's kind of the boxes.
I can see it. Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Is that like the plane of view isometric? Is that the where it's like an?
I guess you call
it isometric is like top down.
Yeah, it's trying to be that, but it's like a little angle too. So I think they're just making you have a fixed metric to this, like to the how you're looking around. But anyway, these games are very popular. There are 70 Bomberman games, and I think the most recent one came out in 2017. It is Super Bomberman R, developed by Hudson Soft. These are like a blast. This one had 5 worlds and 25. Yeah. This one had 25 levels, and honestly, for back in the day, that was a big deal. I mean, think of 25 Mario levels crammed onto a little cartridge like this, so that's a big deal. But the whole thing was, usually it didn't have much of a story. To say you were just this guy who would run around and place bombs and eliminate these little other monsters and stuff and go up against bosses. But I found out that there has been this big elaborate story for Bomberman this whole time, and it's so funny because it takes place in the galaxy known as the Bomber Nebula on the Bomberman's home planet, Planet Bomber, and you play as Bomberman, who was in chains working day and night to develop bombs. And he wanted liberty, so he started to fight back, and he used his bombs to get out of the slavery he was in. So it's like, where did this come from? I don't know, but I love it. So
you've actually actively made me like Bomberman less by explaining all of that to me.
I know. It's like, why?
Where did all of this come from?
We just wanted this little guy. I'm assuming it's mostly the newer games that are all like over the top and trying to be.
I hope so.
Yeah, so I think it's funny though. Regardless, this one, they always have all these different unique bombs, and it really is a fun game to play. If you ever get a chance to jump into one of these, maybe on the Switch, I guarantee there's probably a few of them. But it did originally come out in 1985, birth year, and this one I played much later on my Game Boy Color, and I still adore it to this day. So yeah, that's Bomberman. Now, I have to bring out something else that was very influential in many different ways, not just to me, but probably to all of us, because even if you don't like first-person shooters, you have either heard of this or you have played games that have been directly influenced by it. That is
Quake.
Yeah,
wow.
Exactly.
And it's in package too? It's still sealed?
Oh yeah.
Holy
Look at
shit.
it. It's $15 back then, baby. So yeah, this is so funny. I got this one. This is an original copy, and it even has a sales sticker on it for 99 cents. So it's like they probably just were like, and it's like completely mint. That's so funny. But this is the follow-up from ID Software to Doom, and basically this game was pretty revolutionary because it brought the multiplayer aspect of that to a whole new world, like a whole new level, and They had many different ports of it along the way. There were 4 Quakes eventually, but really what was kind of cool was you could develop your own levels and things like that. And eventually they won an award for, what was it called? User Modifiable Games. So they really pioneered that whole thing. And it's just really crazy to think about how many people have... I don't know if you guys have played this. Have you guys played the original Quake?
Yes.
I've never played the original Quake. I've played one of the sequels.
Yeah, okay,
yes.
Sure. Well, now it looks like crap, right? But it's just funny to think about back then. That looked so good. But
revolutionary.
Yeah, well, certainly that, and
so
also it's just really cool to Think about how many people are still playing speed runs on that game, and the current world record of beating the campaign mode is 12 minutes and 23 seconds. And whoever did that shaved off 4 minutes compared to the previous record on Nightmare mode.
Wow.
So that's pretty
God.
impressive. But yeah, it's like, it's a first-person shooter. I'll just mention that, and this one really doesn't need much of an introduction. So that's Quake, baby. I love this one, and
that box art is really nice, actually.
looks like Morrowind
right?
or something almost, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
I'm
it does remind me of
impressed.
that, yeah.
So
I like
pretty cool. All right, that's what I got for Joel and Tell, guys.
Woohoo!
Joel
and Tell. Joel and Tell. Joel and Tell.
Joel and Tell.
Thank you.
All right.
Very nice.
All right. Let's see here. All right. Final segment that I have here for us is what's releasing this weekend for you guys here. If you guys are looking to play something this weekend, check out the games they're releasing. Samurai Jack Battle Through Time is releasing PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. That just, I mean, again, it looks like your childhood brought to life with Samurai Jack there, guys. So check it out. It looks like a great game. Another game that's releasing out there is the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition,
Ooh, nice.
which is a remastered of the GameCube Crystal Chronicles game. So
Yeah.
that was always one of those games I wanted to play so much, but the GameCube version was just like totally screwed to play because you needed all these peripherals to play it.
Well, and you needed a GameCube to play a Final Fantasy game, and you're like, no, I have a Sony. What's going on? I have a PlayStation.
Yeah.
What do I need a
It was so
GameCube
weird.
for?
Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking to get that, that's available everywhere. And then another game for you guys out there, Surgeon Simulator is getting the sequel, part 2, on PC this weekend as well. So that's terrifying. If you're a Madden fan, Madden 21's releasing this weekend, so check that out there. And that's what I got for games releasing. So lots of cool games this weekend in theaters. Not that I'm saying you should or should not go. It's up to you guys. Be safe, be smart. But in theaters, New Mutants is releasing tonight, actually, in theaters. So if you're looking for a new movie to watch, New Mutants is out there. Some stuff that's on Netflix. Just a shout out there. They're bringing The Promised Neverland to Netflix, releasing on Tuesday. The full first season. Me and Joel absolutely love that show, The Promised Neverland. So it's a really great show. So check that out. On top of that, I think Cobra Kai, the TV series, is being released on Netflix as well. That was released on YouTube for a while. So all seasons are being released on Netflix this weekend.
Did either of you watch that show?
No, but I've seen.
I wanted to, but it was on the YouTube like premium thing, so like, I couldn't get a chance to watch it.
I just remember, I remember being blown away by the trailer. Like the trailer made it look fantastic, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So I kind of want to check it out. So give me some nostalgia, maybe, because I love the Karate Kid. Yeah, and that's basically all what's releasing this weekend, guys. So get out, make sure to check out some stuff, play with people, and be safe. All right. With all the segments out of the way, you know what time it is, boys?
Yeah.
Rapid Five!
Rapid Five!
Right,
Rapid Five!
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show where the main host of the show, asks the other co-hosts rapid five questions to kind of just like poke at prod at them and kind of just get to know them more and stuff like that. So we have some cool little questions here. All right, let's start with Joel here today. Ooh. Joel, hey.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with the new question that is gonna be staying with us for a while. Is recommend the song for the folks out there.
Oh crap. I wasn't ready for this.
I told you Rapid Five was here.
Let me quickly. Oh, I got one for you guys. So have you guys ever heard of Equip?
No.
No. All right. Equip is an electronic musician, but the guy makes soundtracks or like soundtracks for games that never existed, but they sound like 16-bit, so it's beautiful. Like 16-bit sound is awesome compared to 8-bit. Yeah, I would say one song by them to check out is I Dreamed of a Palace in the Sky. That is a very cool track by this guy. That whole album is fantastic. So very worth checking out. And Equip has to do with RPGs. course, equip an item or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Over to Will. Same question. Recommend the song.
Oh, I recommended a song last week. Go listen to the song that I recommended last week.
We said to
No
save
way.
more for this week, didn't we?
You
Okay.
always get to have a new song.
Yeah. In that case, why don't I throw out I will recommend a song by Okay, it's by an artist called Francis and the Lights. It features Chance the Rapper. It is called Can I Have This Dance? It's got some sentimental value to me. I won't go deeper into that, but this is a dope song. It's got a fantastic music video too. It's got like this sort of like 80s Genesis feel to it, and then you throw Chance the Rapper on top of it with some sick vocals, and it's a lot of fun. So go check that one out.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right, Joel. Second question for you here is, it's the superpower question here, guys. All right, let's go with superpowers. Would you rather have removable eyeballs to where you can still view through them as you remove them and place them places, or the ability to throw your voice far distances?
I think. All right, I know the answer to this one. Throw my voice to far distances, because then I never have to go to a meeting again. I can just sit in my room and be like, but then I gotta hear it, right?
Yeah,
so I can do
it.
I can do a Zoom meeting without being there, I suppose, right?
Exactly. So
Like that one.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Will, over to you. This is kind of a spin on a question you asked me last week, but I would like you. Can you name a fictional character that you would like to have dinner or a drink with?
Ooh.
They have to be fictional.
Yeah, I would. So the funniest thing is I don't even watch this show. But if I had to pick any character, I think I'd pick the Doctor. I'm not a huge Whovian, but like you talk about someone who has such a unique perspective and has seen so many things and has been through so much. Just a font of knowledge. I would love to sit down and pick the Doctor's brain. Learn from a Time Lord.
Very cool. Nice. Very cool. That's very cool. Very cool answer. All right. Moving back over to Joel. It's the lightsaber or question for Joel. And if you guys are catching up here, Joel currently has a Gundam.
Yes, he does.
He's refused to let go of the Gundam. And we're trying to offer him things to see if he trade up or trade down. Who knows? Today, I would like to offer Joel, you can either keep your Gundam that you have right now, or I would like to offer you your very own lunar base on the moon.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
With all the fixings you need for a lunar base.
So transportation to said base is included.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
all right. Yeah, you know what?
Yes, it's all yours.
All right. Let's assume the technology to get us to having a lunar base is pretty significant. I think that goes without saying. Man, this is tough.
In a world where you have a Gundam, I think, a lunar base is going to be pretty significant in that world.
I know. Well, my thought is, if I had the lunar base, I could maybe build a Gundam.
Maybe.
We're not saying that you built the lunar base. We're just saying we're giving you a lunar base.
I know. God knows I couldn't make that. All right, well, I'm going with my gut on this one. I'm keeping the damn Gundam, dude. I'm sorry. You can fly around.
You can just fly to the moon.
I can fly to the moon, and I can fly beyond it. So, screw it. I'm keeping that Gundam. I love it.
Hard to top.
time.
Very
folks.
tough.
I thought I had him
You
this time.
did for a minute. But,
It was close.
Yeah. That was close. All right, let's see if Will can tempt them next week. We'll see with that one. All right, going back over to Will. Will, it's the mundane superpower question for you.
Bring it.
All right. So, would you rather have the power to always be able to lift double what you can physically lift, right? So, if your body has like the ability to lift, I don't know, 200 pounds, you can always lift double that. So it's 400 pounds, right? So
Okay.
physically,
So
like you're able to push past your limit too.
If we're using my actual real life stats, I can lift about 10 pounds.
Sure, there you go.
Yeah.
Great. Can't wait. I can't wait to carry 2 gallons of milk at once.
Again, you build up your tone, your body. It's always double the strength of what it is. So
All
you
right.
basically have double strength.
Now we're talking.
The ability to be able to have your words written down for you automatically.
Oh.
So you're sitting there and just like, take this note, and like all of a sudden a paper starts filling out what you're saying.
A paperclip pops out.
You seem to want me to take. You seem to want me to take your notes, and it just automatic without having to do a program. It's like a magical, like it word for word perfectly as you envision it as you're speaking it. The great magical stenographer.
Stenographer.
Those are both awesome. But I feel like the technology is pretty close to already being able to take notes automatically. And double strength is a pretty cool power. Like, I don't know if I have to like flip it on and off, or if I get a double strength bonus right now, but either way, that's pretty sweet. I think I'm going to go with double strength.
Think of it this way.
All right.
Double jump.
Yeah.
Ooh,
you can lift the car when you need it to.
Dude, all that.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
Like a ball,
all right.
Bar.
Call Will the Power Man. All right. Let's go back over to Joel. Joel.
Right.
Okay, Joel. I got one for you because you done sidelined me last week with that comic book question.
Oh crap!
All right. I have a really powerful question for you.
Okay.
I want you to recommend one single episode of an anime that will sell a person on anime.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yikes, that's a tough one.
Makes sense?
And it has to be
someone who's like someone who's on the fence.
Episode, yeah.
Someone on the fence of just like, I don't know if I would like anime. What would you recommend? And you have to name them one episode for them to be hooked. What do you choose?
Whoa, crap! It's got to be general enough to get it. Yeah, it's got to be general enough to get most people interested. Something hilarious is usually good. And honestly, because of recency bias, I'm going to Kaguya-sama, and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. But
you're either gonna sell them or you're gonna lose them.
I know. Crap. I'm freezing up here. I'm looking around for information. Okay. Let's just say. Okay.
I've stumped them, ladies and gentlemen.
You're tearing him apart right now.
I know. I'm literally like getting feverish over here. All right. I'm just gonna pull one out of my ass. I think the episode of. Let's do the first episode of Japan Sinks.
Japan Sinks? First episode of Japan Sinks?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Very, very unique answer there. First episode, Japan Sinks 2022. Wait, what is that? Japan Sinks. Yeah, 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just Japan thing.
on Netflix now, you guys can go check out the episode you
Go watch
recommended.
it. Let me know if I have trash flavor. Yeah, exactly. Trash taste.
All right, going over to Will. Will,
Yes.
it's the sandwich question. Is it a sandwich? Will, do you remember the very first sandwich we asked you?
Was it a hot dog?
It was a hot dog.
Well done.
Today, we're gonna go to the corn dog. Is a corn dog a sandwich?
Oh. If I
Last week we did the eggs in a basket. We did eggs in a basket last week, and it was bread surrounding some sort of protein. This week we're doing the same thing. It's a breading around that hot dog.
Completely. That's awesome.
Layers. It's handheld. All right, go ahead.
Ooh.
Will, sorry.
Yeah, no. So I believe I said, if you'll recall last week, I said eggs in a hole, no, because you would never eat it holding like the bread. Yeah, you'd never eat it so that you get a cross section of it. Mm-hmm. Hot dogs are different because you would do that. You'd get the buns and the meat. I think corn dogs, you could also argue that they are a sandwich because you can get that like cross section and have meat between starch, between carbohydrate.
Mm-hmm. He's our sandwich aficionado here.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm actually gonna
corn dogs are sandwiches, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna rely on my previous ruling of a calzone to inform this and say that yes, it is a sandwich. Just because the crust goes all the way around does not mean it's not a sandwich.
I love it. I love it. Yes. Yes. Our sandwich aficionado here has spoken. All right. Gordon Ramsay, move aside. All right. Get out of here,
you talentless hack.
Will knows what he's talking about. All right.
Gordon Ramsay, who's that?
All right. I love this. I love it, guys. All right. We have arrived to the final question, which is our keep going, stop, or snap out of existence question. This week will be a little bit different, or not a little bit different. It's in the same vein, but I'm going to focus on just one single medium. This is video games, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about what is most important to you about a video game, right? So let's see what you would keep going, stop, or snap out of existence back to the beginning of time with this medium, video games. Art and graphics, sound and music, or gameplay. Which one of these do you keep at the level it's at now, stop where it's at now, or snap it out of existence back to the beginning of video games?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's rough.
This is a rough one.
Okay, I'll jump right out and I'll take the bullet for it. I am going to keep sound. I'm going to keep sound in video games. I think music and sound effects and voiceovers are so powerful for creating immersion. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop graphics. Because I've never been like the biggest graphics guy. You know, I still play in 1080p. I've never been the first one to go get a console for a generation. Which means I am snapping gameplay back to the beginning of video games, which hurts. Yes. But if you think about it, there are a lot of like those early games that were just top-down isometric RPGs, and they were fucking awesome. You also still had same couch co-op. You know, you had really good side-scrollers. Fuck it. Gameplay. Back to the beginning. Nice. Back to basics.
Back to basics. All right. I love that. Yeah.
Beautifully said.
All right, Joel.
All right. I am going to keep sound as well, primarily because of soundtracks in video games have really developed quite well. And they really can sway and make the atmosphere of the game much like it's a really cool thing where like that the music has become such a large part of video games, and we didn't pay attention to it when we were much younger, most likely. But as you grow older, you're like, wow, that really makes a big impact, to the point where I was just telling you about a song that sounds like it's from a video game, right? So it's like there's a huge impact there. I'm going to stop art and graphics for the same reason, which is that you can, at this point, until we get to completely photorealistic graphics, which is going to take quite a while for the sheer computing power, which means like I'm looking in the Matrix style, that's going to take quite a while probably to get to, if ever. And therefore, we're probably approaching a plateau, at least for a while, in terms of graphics, and therefore I don't care. The only thing that's making me think that it's like worth keeping is concept art, and the development of like character design and things like that is always cool and unique. So it's like, all right, I'll keep that aspect. So let's just stop all the graphics nonsense. And then gameplay, it seems like that's a struggling point for games right now. I'm going to snap that out of existence because, as stated by Will, there are so many simple things that bring us pleasure as opposed to trying to add layers of gameplay. Now, that doesn't mean complexity is a bad thing. It just means that you marginally, if ever, find new gameplay that truly changes the world, right? So, don't care. Give me the old stuff. It will be the damn greatest thing ever if it's done right. That's what I got. And
Very
now
cool.
over to you, Jelani.
Very cool. So this one I thought long and hard about, and so what I'm going to settle on here is that I think I would keep gameplay. Actually, I think I would like to see it continue advancing to where we are right now. Right, I don't want to like have them start over with gameplay. I think there's still much more we can do, even though we're kind of in a time period where like we're still striving for more.
Yeah.
I think I would stop sound, right, and music where it's at, because I think we reached a level where I think for a very long time, this is like some of the pinnacle of music and sound that we can get out of games, right? I don't know how much further we can get with sound than that, but like beautiful orchestrated music, great sound effects, things like that. I would actually snap graphics back to the beginning. I think it would be a pretty interesting kind of like reset for the industry if they had to go back to the beginning, back to the drawing board, and only had to deal with graphic limitations of like the bit era, starting way back at the beginning again, and then still have the ideas that they have now about gameplay. What could they do with that? Could they, because Go ahead.
On that note, I'm sorry to interject, but I was going to say, I'm sure you guys have seen online either the renditions or the videos on YouTube where people take modern games and kind of make like an 8-bit looking version of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would love to see how they would handle that. So that's actually a good point.
Yeah, exactly. It would basically turn every game into an indie game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, the folks out there, what would you do with these parts of a game? What would you keep going? What would you snap right back to the beginning of video games? Let us know. But that was Rapid 5 there, guys.
Awesome.
So
Well
Rapid
done,
5.
Very good.
Thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you so much for joining us here, folks. This is another great pop contention, pop aficionados, pop power block here on Thursdays. Thank you so much for joining us here on twitch.tv/PopSamurai Network. We enjoy you guys supporting us. We thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, hopefully you guys be safe out there. We love you guys. This has been your host, Jaboy Jelani Hoon, along with Will Walkie Washkun, Joel, Critical Joel Paprocki. And this has been the Pop Samurai Trinity here for you guys on Thursday. We love you guys, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Will Our Heroes podcast survive? Spread the word, subscribe, and tune in next time. Same Pop Samurai time, same Pop Samurai channel.